18 to 88.com was invited to a secret youth football blitz sponsored by FedEx and USA Football. FedEx ambassadors surprised the youth football teams by storming the field with trucks full of signed mini helmets for all the kids. Plus, the players got a chance to warm up for their game with Hall of Fame running back Eric Dickerson. Our own Nate Manahan was able to catch up with Eric Dickerson and ask a few questions.
Hi, this is Nate Manahan with 18 to 88.com. I'm here with Eric Dickerson here down in Bargersville, Indiana. What brings you down to Bargersville today?
Well, I'm down here with FedEx. That's where they have FedEx delivers on Saturdays, so that's why I'm here today, out here with the kids and enjoying myself out here today on a cold, brisk Saturday morning.
That's awesome. I was 11 years old when you came to Indianapolis Colts. So not to make you feel any age here, but when you came to Indianapolis, football didn't feel like this. And it wasn't. Did you feel the pressure of making professional football a legitimate sport in Indianapolis when you came here?
Oh man, that's a great question. Yes, I did. No one's ever asked me that question. Yes, I did. I felt like that it was on me and some other guys to try to legitimize football here in Indiana, because Indiana was such a big basketball state. It's not the Colts that it is today. When I played, the Colts have won a Super Bowl and been in 2 Super Bowls. Do I wish I could have played for this team? Oh, God, I had a chance to play with some of these players, most definitely. But, it was a different time, and it was a different coach team back in those days.
What would you do? As one of my next questions, what would you do if you played with the team that was today? What would Eric Dickerson do when he got to play with you only played with one 3,000-yard passer in your career? What would happen if you played with Peyton Manning behind center?
Let's put it like this here. It would be like stealing. It would be so easy for him and so easy for me. I mean, really, because Peyton makes it easy for a running back. And if you have a back like he has Joseph Adai, especially when Joseph's healthy, it makes it easy on him. And if I'd have played, I might have had 2,500 yards, who knows? I knew I'd have had at least that 1,800 yard season here for sure.
Okay, we remember a game when we were talking about you in 1988 in Denver. I don't know if you're a Monday night game.
Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah. When did you realize that game was special? When you got up in the morning, first couple of carries, when you just crushed Denver?
Honestly, when I hit the field, when I came on the field, everything just felt right. And as a football player, another football player, I know exactly what I'm talking about. You come out there and everything is just right. You feel light, you feel quick. From the first time we broke the huddle and they called the first play, I think I picked up like 8 or 10 yards, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be on tonight. And I just knew.
Current football, looking at different running backs, obviously Colts have had a variety of running backs since you. We've had some great running backs, Marshall Faulk, Edgerrin James. When you look at yourself compared to current running backs, anyone that comes out, is Adrian Peterson just a little less than what you were? Or is there any running backs that compare to you?
Well, Adrian Peterson he's a tall back. He's a big back that they consider us. He's a little bit like me, not a lot. He's a great back. You have some guys out there like Chris Johnson, not my style. Not the kind of runner I was. He's fast. You have some great backs here. You have Joseph Adai here. He's not my style of back. How I ran, but he's very, very effective. It's hard to find a back 6'3". I'm 6'3", 225. I was a sprinter, so it's not many guys out there. Not bragging or nothing like that, but it's just hard to find a guy my size. When I played running back, they didn't want me to play. Coming out of high school, they said you need to be a tight end or something, but I wanted to play running back.
Now you had an incredible career, ended up ultimately being in Canton. What is one of the highlights of your career? What's the thing when you sit down, the first thought that comes to your mind about your career as an NFL football player?
I played hard no matter what. Under whatever the circumstances were, unhappy or whatever, I still played hard. That's one thing. You have to look back at your career and feel like I gave it all I had every time I got the ball. And that's why I feel I never dogged it ever. And there's times as a player, every player goes through times when they're not happy in their career for different reasons, if it's family issues, team issue, whatever, but you have to play hard. And I feel like I played hard no matter what. I think for his any specific thing as a player in my career, I think everybody goes back to the 2,000-yard season. Great season, unforgettable. Guys are still chasing it. Chris Johnson said he's going to have 2,500 yards this year. It's like he's falling a little short of that mark. But, that season to me was a magical year. And, the thing about it I think makes me most proud is it still stands almost 27 years later.
Last question. This is just a fun one. Do you ever break out the goggles?
A guy was at my house a couple of months ago, and I take it back almost a year ago. Buddy of mine, Sandy Sandoval from EA Sports. Way to go, Sandy. And he says, Eric, where are the goggles at? Because I had my bus my Hall of Fame bust sitting on one of my desks, right? My credentials right across my desk. And he said, why the goggles at? I'm like, they upstairs. He said, go get them. So I didn't know what he was going to do with them. So I went down and got the goggles, and he put them on my bust. He said, that looks right. And I look at it. I never took them off. It looks right. So the goggles sit on my NFL bust, my Hall of Fame bust at my house.